I would like to invite Chuck Munson to come forward today to tell all of you a little bit about prayer in his life. Chuck has gone through some very serious challenges, and God has not always answered his prayers in the ways that he wanted. But through it all, Chuck knows that God is always with him, he always listens, and he will always care.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Chuck Munson, and you may recognize my name from the list up on the prayer wall before church. Pastor Bill approached my wife and I and asked if I would speak on the power of prayer and how it directly affected my life. My wife said yes, so here I am. Please bear with me as I'm not a good public speaker, and trust me when I tell you I almost backed out a few times. Prayer has directly affected my life many times, but I'm only going to speak on two of them. In February of 2013, I was hit by a truck as a pedestrian and thrown about 20 feet. After the accident, I underwent around 20 major surgeries over a 6-year period. During and after 2 big spine surgeries, I was bedridden in my home for over a year, unable to walk or do anything on my own. After years of therapy, I graduated from a walker to a cane. The surgeon finally said, "With all the damage you have, this is as good as you're going to get, so learn to love it." I didn't know how to pray, but I just talked to God, asking him to please help me. Our church at the time prayed for me every week, and as you can see, prayer worked. Fast forward to October 8th of 2022, I was sitting in the ER right next door here for the 3rd time after being told 2 times over the previous 5 months that I was fine. They came in and said, "I don't know how to say this, but you're filled with cancer, and that we're looking for a cancer center to take you." After getting transported to Duke Raleigh, I underwent 2 weeks of testing, scans, biopsies, and port installed in my chest, and was finally told I had an aggressive form of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma with about a 40% chance of survival, but that they had to start immediately. As people found out about the diagnosis, the outpouring of prayers was overwhelming. And at first, I had a hard time receiving them, as I was angry at the diagnosis. Angry my kids might have to grow up without a dad. Angry my wife would have to be a widow. But this church kept praying. Friends, family, complete strangers on social media prayed nonstop. After the first treatment, something just clicked, that I have this for a reason. I started praying God to show me why. I prayed that he would perform a miracle on me so that I could be proof for everyone to see the power of our Lord and what he's capable of. I spent a lot of time in the hospital, hooked up pumps, running chemo 24/7 for weeks at a time. Every day I would walk, just me and my IV pole, down to the empty chapel and sit and say the Lord's Prayer, because my grandmother always said, if you didn't know what to say the Lord's Prayer. After my 4th round, they did another PET scan to see how the cancer was reacting, hoping to see a slight improvement. When the doctor walked in, he had a puzzled look on his face, and with a big smile, he said, "I don't know how to say this or explain this, but your scan is clean." He said in all his years, he hasn't seen a stage 4 cancer improve like this, and he just can't explain it, but I knew. I continued 3 more rounds of chemo, followed by 10 rounds of radiation, and at the end of this month, I'll hit my 1-year remission. All I can say is I'm living proof that prayer works. I hope that if you ever have doubt in your life, that you can look at me and know that he is real, and prayers do in fact work. My journey is not over, and the chance of cancer coming back is much greater than it staying away. But as my nanny always said before she passed, when you have a worry, lay it at the foot of the cross, give it to God, and he will take care of you. So thank you for all your prayers, and God bless you all.
Chuck is interested in starting a cancer support group here at the church, and so if you would be interested in being a part of that, please talk to him sometime today. Thank you, Chuck.